Hello, everyone. It's Pro White Male Leadership. This is my first open panel. Before you guys come up, I just want you guys to know I'm going to do this for about 45 minutes to an hour. So, whatever you guys want to talk about, let me know. If there's something that you guys want me to talk about, let me know. So, I give you guys a few minutes to come up if you want to. Or is there a topic that you guys want me to discuss? Let me know. Okay, Faith Grace, you want me to talk about the black man with the 7 children? I mean, what can I really say about that? I mean, what do you really expect? He's a black man. I mean, nothing new here. This is what they do. I mean, not a surprise. So, you know, black men know that white men are going to take care of these children. That's why they keep doing it. So that's just really what it is. They know they're not going to leave these children out here starving. So they're going to keep doing it as long as white men keep taking care of these children. That's just what it is at this point. And they've been showing that for decades. So, uh, gaslighting, manipulation tactics. I mean, listen, it's not a surprise that how he convinced them. I mean, listen, we believe this story with slavery for how long now? So it's not a surprise that these women believe them. So because like I said, black men put on one mask and they do another. That's what they do. So it's not a vasectomy. That's I mean A vasectomy? No. That's not in them. Nope. Road Rose, why are you supporting white powder dusty donut men shouldn't be in this space? Road Rose, what do you mean by that? Would you like to come up on the panel and talk? Mhm. Mhm. Well, one of you are going to have to come up, or I'm going to have to shut down this live in about 10 minutes. So if you guys don't want to come up and talk, I did this live just for you guys. So if you guys don't want to come up and talk, it's open panel. I never had an open panel before, so I'm having an open panel just for you guys tonight. So you can come up and talk about whatever you want. Just, as long as you're not talking about other content creators, it's completely fine. Well, I'm trying to figure out who is the powder dusty. So what's going on, guys? Michael Ray, are they talking about you? I don't know. I'm trying to figure things out, guys. I have two girls in the comment section saying that. So who is the powdered? Who's the dusty? Who's the uninvolved white man? I'm trying to figure that out. So hey, Roadrunner.
Hey, what's going on, Pro White
Yeah,
Leadership?
yeah.
How's it
Thank you for.
going?
Yeah,
Hey,
I did this
Roadrunner.
open live for them,
Hey,
but nobody wants to come up. I'm trying to figure out who's the powder dusty they say they're having here.
Powder Dusty. What is
Yeah,
that?
they're saying I don't know. I had some girl in my comments saying no one is supporting powder dusties. I don't know what that means.
Oh, I've heard
This is
Dusty.
Yeah. Look at this comment right
Dusty?
here.
Why are you supporting white powdered donut Dusties? Hmm. So it's white Dusties, I guess. That's what it means.
Hey, yellow. Yeah, I can't say it. Poppins. Let me know if you want to come up, guys. I'm gonna keep this open. I'm gonna, Hey, GPD64. What's going on?
All right.
Well, they wanted me to talk about the black man with the 7 different kids. I mean, really? Do we have to explain anything in that situation?
Oh, I talked about that guy last night.
I said, really? Oh, Lady T. Join the club, Lady T. I'm like, really? Are we really doing this? I mean, you have 6% of the you have 6% of your country, the smallest percent of your country, right? Leaving every you having leaving white, Hispanic, and Black women single mothers. So, I mean, so I mean, at this point, I don't get it. So,
or maybe they're saying that the only dusties are the white powdered dusties. Maybe
I
they're
don't even
saying
know what that even means.
I don't either.
Okay, Road Rose, would you like to come up and explain yourself? You're saying okay, because okay.
He's also in a Mel Twitter Spaces. Okay.
All right. I mean, you're free to come up and explain yourself. If there's someone in this space that is not supposed to be here, you need to come up and speak up, or you need to email me. I'll leave the email. I'll put the email up. So, because I want you guys to be safe. So, if something is going on, well, that's not even the right one. Hold on. So that's the email. So if something is going on, guys, you guys got to email me and let me know. It will be anonymous. If something is going on, you guys got to tell me. Do not allow me to have somebody on here that you feel is a problem. So if you don't want to come up and speak, then email me there. It will remain anonymous. Okay. Okay, Brent. So I wanted to move forward. Yeah, so they were I'm not gonna be on for long if nobody comes up, but okay, the road rose. You don't have to say who you're talking about here. I prefer you not to, because I don't want that problem. So just email the email and it will be anonymous. And I would not, so if you feel like there's a problem here, then you should email me. If anybody feels uncomfortable with something, or you feel like something ain't right, please email me. It will be anonymous. Okay, but who are you talking about?
But you asked me to explain. Mm. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, she said the dude I posted. She must have posted something to your thing.
let me see what's going on here. Give me 1 second, Brent.
Okay.
Well, I don't see anything, so well, like I said, I don't know. Maybe it's just a troll.
Mm. Yeah, it must be a troll. I don't know what powdered donuts and transgenders. What is that?
I have no idea.
We want high value guys only. Am I the problem? Or am I the powdered dusty?
Okay, well, Road, I asked you to email me, so if you're not telling me what you're talking about, I have no idea we don't know what you're talking about. So if you don't feel comfortable coming up and speaking, then please email me and let me know. The live that I was just on.
Oh, so I'm the Dusty. Okay. Oh, I see. So the live you were just on. So I'm Dusty, the Rough Rose. What am I Dusty about?
Well, let's see what's going on. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, that's weird. Right. I've been called many things. Whatever. It's all good. All right. So what are we talking about? Is
Yeah,
just
they wanted me to
whatever.
talk about the road. Are you?
Oh, the.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, anyway, they wanted to talk about the black man with the 7 children.
Oh yeah.
I can't. I mean,
I
are you guys surprised? At this point, you guys can't be surprised, right?
you know what? I did a reaction to that video, and there was a number of people that did. I mean, um, he talked about having 7 kids from 7 different women, and it's not his responsibility. He's saying that she could have got an abortion, and he told these women that he didn't want kids, and he feels that it's not his problem. Basically, that's what it is.
Number one, every time a black man says that, you know he's lying, right? So,
oh yeah,
so
I
don't,
guarantee.
yeah. So don't, because they have a way of manipulating where, I mean, so they have a way of manipulating. So, like I said, so you don't even want to go there. So, because like I said, they pump these girls up, and then they tell them they're in these relationships, and then that's it. I mean, there was one guy, I don't want to say his name because he's a famous rapper actually, and he sat there and acted as if he was in a relationship with this girl, and then on face, I think it was some live chat, he says, okay, I think we have a hashtag here. You do know that black people are the Israelites, right? King Mike, would you like to come up and talk? This is a part of it too. We're the Israelites, we're the supreme, we built everything. That seems to be their thing. You understand what I'm saying? I'm that seems to be their thing, right?
Yeah,
So,
they're also the Egyptians too.
yeah, they're like I said, they made everything and created everything, and they were these men, but for some reason they just ended up in the situation they ended up in. Listen, that's listen, they tell black women this, and black women actually believe them. That's I can't.
Yeah.
Because there's no evidence of it. Where? There's no evidence of it. The castles that they have, look at the castles they have in Africa, right? You see any castles built like that anywhere in Africa? No, because those are castles that white men built.
Well, there are some contracted ones.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, they just provide the land. There's no structure like that anywhere in Africa, and you can see any country that these men run. You see the condition of it. So I don't know why they're going to continue to perpetuate this we were kings, we were the Israelites, that we're supreme, we're the supreme man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, I got somebody up. We're, that's oh, hi. Look, see, King Mike is here. I think we're gonna have a little exciting little live here. King Mike might wants to come up and oh, Dust Divester, your device is not connected.
Yeah, make sure the camera and the mic. Make sure it's on avatar if you don't want to show your face.
Yeah, don't show your face here. I prefer you not to. Don't show your face. They're the supreme being and all this other stuff. Listen, I've already went over the male hierarchy. I know I don't have to bring that up again and go over that again. I've explained, we have seen the historical same patterns over and over again. Unfortunately, King Mike, you are not the superior male. And history has proven that. I'm telling you, there's always an
LOL, I was raised up Christian, loving everyone. Okay, what's wrong with that? That's good. Sorry, my bad.
Is the hat? Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, he wants to join. Yes, hashtag. Come in and join us here. This is gonna be great. Brent, do not just let them speak their gibberish. Just let them speak. But some of this is your fault though, because you allow them to speak like this for so long, so they're starting to actually believe it. I can't.
Is he going to be one of those things? Hey cracker, and just start yelling at me, cussing?
I mean, that's all they can really do. They can't really do anything else. So, oh, Mike Carter. Okay. Let's see.
So, is this your channel or?
Yes, Mike Carter.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'll just so I was raised up conservative, Christian, and all that, and I still do believe, Christ, Lord and Savior, and all. But it's just crazy how much we don't. The true reality of history that we are not told just from like school, college, and even the church. It's like I don't really hate nobody.
Excuse me. All right. Okay. The question is this is Pro White Male Leadership channel. So why are you here, and what do you want to talk about? I don't understand.
Oh no! I just was randomly scrolling through YouTube, and then I saw something about a picture of
Black. This is Black Women for White Male Leadership channel.
Oh.
Yeah.
My bad. I didn't even know. I just was scrolling through and I saw something that was interesting.
No, this is a channel. This is proactive white male leadership for Black women.
All right.
Yeah. Have a nice day, sir. Bye-bye.
Okay, wow. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting a shouting match.
Well, I was just I think I actually believe him. I think he really was maybe maybe he got a little scared. Maybe he was scrolling through, and Rose, you try to come up, but you went down. So if you want to come up again, you can go ahead. Yeah, so maybe maybe he's telling the truth, maybe he's not, maybe he got scared. I don't know. There's some scary people, so
She said she
no,
was
you didn't
just
get
up there and got kicked
no,
off.
I didn't kick you off, Rose. You just fell down. I'm sorry. There's another person that's trying to come up and she fell off. That's how StreamYard is. So please don't take it personal. You can come
Yeah,
back up,
just
but I'm
try
not going to
again.
kick you off.
Yeah, just hit the link again. Sometimes it's sometimes you'll get kicked off. She's not kicking nobody off. Okay. Is she still trying to get on, or I can't see
No,
it
I
on
know,
mine.
yeah, I don't see it. So, because my on my end, it was starting to freeze up on me a little bit. I thought I would have to refresh. So it went, yeah, that's how StreamYard is. The road, Rose, I'm just gonna call you Rose. You're free to come up. I put the link again. You're free to come up. I'm sorry about that. But it wasn't me, because you're not the only person that tried to come up, and it didn't allow. That's just how StreamYard is.
Yeah, and believe me, we want to talk. We love talking.
Yeah, we want to talk.
So we don't want to kick you off.
Yeah. So, I had this, like I said, we have the black man with the 7 kids. And I'm like, is there anything new? There's nothing new here.
Yeah.
So,
That
nothing new.
it's crazy because watching that, and actually I could put it on your thing if you want to see it.
Yeah,
it's
go ahead. Let's do that. Let me put let me do copyright real quick, just in case, because you know how they are. But I'm not gonna keep this up anyway. But yeah, hold on for 1 second, Brent.
Okay, let's see, where is it? I just gotta look for it. Oh, there it is. Okay, let me see here. Okay, here we go. What the heck just happened? Okay, hold on. Let me try it again. I think I hit the wrong button. But let me see here.
Yeah, I just saw it, and I can play it on my end. That's not a problem.
Okay. Do you see it down there? Can you bring it
yeah,
up?
I see it. I'll do that.
See if you can bring it up.
7 kids and 7 baby mamas. Now, for the past few days, I've been going live, telling my story, speaking my truth. And a lot of women having an issue calling me a deadbeat because I tell them I was being irresponsible, yet not wearing protection. But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father to these children. And I offer to pay for the abortion. Majority of times, they'll either take the abortion or they'll take a plan B. But only these 7 have kept these children. But the crazy thing about it is they want me to be responsible for some children I told them I did not want. So for some years now, some of them been trying to get in contact with me, access denied. Because I don't really know why you trying to get in contact with me. I done told you I did not want them kids. So don't expect me to be responsible financially, emotional, spiritually, mentally, or physically with some kids I do not want. And I don't give a fuck what nobody think about it. You're not going to force children up on me. Yeah, we both made the decision to lay down and have intercourse. We both was irresponsible about the decisions we made that night. Yeah, I could have pulled out, but I didn't. And I ain't care to pull out because I'm not the one that's going to have to carry a baby for 9 months. It's the woman. In my opinion, women should be more careful on who they sleep with. Because you're going to be like, one of my baby mamas trying to find me so I can financially support a kid I done told her or them I did not want. Another thing is, these just jump offs. These the type of women that I ain't even had to do nothing for. The bare minimum, but they gave me access to their body, and they think I want to be a father to a child for one of them? Like, I don't even have no type of love for these women. How do they expect me to love these children? Before y'all say, oh, he irresponsible, he a deadbeat, he don't take accountability. Yeah, I do. I just don't give a fuck. You ain't gonna force these children on me when I told you I ain't want them. Yeah, I can offer to pay for abortion, but at what point can I force a woman to go get an abortion? I cannot. A woman say, my body, my choice, but I say, it's my life, my choice. Before y'all try to stitch this shit and be like, black man this, black man that, I don't give a fuck. I really don't.
Okay. Well,
I
we
mean,
know where he stands.
You know what kills me sometimes is I try to understand, right, what Black mothers are proud of. I don't get it. I'm not a mother, so I don't know, and I'm not having Black children and definitely not a Black son, but I'm trying to figure out why they're so proud of these men. You understand what I'm saying? Not only did these men enslaved you, then pimped you out to every other race of group, didn't have nothing to show for it, but then they get up on social media and do this. And this is what these women are proud of. I'm trying to get that, because me being attached to these men, that's probably why I'm lashing out on my family right now. I don't like being attached to these men. I'm still trying to figure out, why are these women so proud of these men? I'm trying to figure out what they're proud of. I don't get it at this point. So it has to be a deep, it's like something is definitely, there's a defect in Black women mentally. It has to be. It has to be.
I'm just like speechless of what he said. That he just said it. He don't care, and he even said wow. And he feels all he's got to do is say he don't want kids, and it's all her responsibility. But I don't believe he told all these women he didn't want kids. I believe he told them probably the opposite. He probably, I'm sure he was nice to them and said the right things and, manipulated them. I don't think he went out and said, okay, well, we're going to get together and, we can sleep together, but I don't want kids. You know what I'm saying? Because once you have a kid, it's on you. I mean, I'm sure he didn't tell these women that. I bet he was smooth. He probably wore his best clothes, drove a car that was nice that he can't afford. He's probably behind payments, lives in a beat-up apartment, and told these women what they wanted to hear. And then afterwards, well, I didn't want kids. I bet that's how it really happened. I don't think, I just don't think women will do that. If a guy says they don't want kids, to just, well, maybe some will, but I just don't believe he did that. I don't know, but if he did, they're dumb enough to sleep with him. I mean, gosh, but anyway.
Lady T, what's going on? I love having you here. You have anything to say?
Hey Pro, hey Brent.
Hey, how's it going?
So Brent, I'm gonna have to correct your statement you just made. Black males throughout history have proven and shown that they do not want children. They don't like children. They don't care about children. They don't want to provide for children. They only want to use women as semen receptacles. And Black women, all women at this point, should know that.
Yeah. Well, I don't believe he wanted the kids.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Brent. Sorry. But I'm so sorry. No, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm so sorry. But this is what I believe black women don't understand. The whole idea of black men having children with black women is to keep them tied to blackness. It's that's it. They just need to keep them tied to blackness, because that will keep the worship going, especially if they have a black son. Hold on for 1 second. Go ahead, Brent. I'm so sorry to cut you off.
Oh, no, no problem. You don't have to apologize. No, I was just saying I don't. Yeah, they don't want to take care of their kids. I was just saying I don't believe he told the women that. I think he probably lied. But maybe he didn't. But maybe they. I don't know. I just don't
I believe he did tell him, because he did say in this live, do you think me doing this live is going to keep women from me? He still said he can go get whatever woman he wants after this live. And I totally believe him.
Okay. Well, you know what? The out of birth rate's high, so maybe you're right. Maybe I don't want to believe that women will go for this. Maybe that's what it is. But
I don't think it's that, Brent. I don't think it's that, Brent. I think that you just come from a culture where men just don't do that, so it's not around you. But yeah, but the only children that black men will take pride in, it's very rare, are biracial children. So those are the only children, and I'm seeing it in my family. So they will take care of another woman's children. They take pride in those children because those are not black children. So, because they don't like black children. That I know for a fact. They don't like black children.
And they really don't like the biracial children. They just like their proximity to whiteness.
That's true. I don't want to leave Banter with Bo out. Hi, Banter with Bo. How are you? Has been a long time.
Hey, ladies. Hey, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Hey. So I just hopped on like in the middle of this. So I'm a little lost. I didn't really get to see. I mean, I kind of saw the ending of it, but I would just say, just from like prejudging and knowing how maladaptive black men are, I do think that he lied. I don't believe anything that comes out of their mouths. Even if they don't explicitly say something, they are very narcissistic, sociopathic individuals who will lie, cheat, steal, kill, and destroy to get what they want by any means necessary. So I highly doubt that he was walking around telling these women, hey, I don't want kids with you. I'm not going to be a good father. I'm going to be a deadbeat. I'm going to leave you destitute. I don't think he was saying that. I think his behavior was probably saying that.
Exactly.
And black women do have a very hard time because most black women are very brainwashed and very damaged when it comes to their mentality of black men and the black male culture. So I do believe through his behavior that he was pretty clear on it. Black women have a hard time accepting that black men are worthless as a collective. It is like breaking the matrix. It is like breaking their minds. And the crazy thing about it is, I don't care how, aka mammified or pro black man a woman is. Most black women know that black men as a collective, even the ones in their family, are just immoral, selfish, aggressive, manipulative individuals, very sinister, insidious individuals. So I think when reality hits, because one thing about having a child is there's no reverse. It's reality. There's not enough YouTube videos, courses, movies that you can take that will move you from your reality. Having a child is reality. And nobody can pull you from that. And I think once that hits, it becomes this whole, it's like splashing cold water on somebody's face. And I think black women already know that. But when having a child with these monsters, they wind up creating their own hell that they cannot get out of. So he is absolutely right about women that are still going to date him, and not just black women, but any woman that are of any type of trash mentality or have any type of trauma, heavy trauma, Even when black men deal with women of other races, they tend to take very broken women, women that have had childhood trauma, issues with their parents. It's a pattern of brokenness and dysfunctionality that is beyond repair or needs a lot of repair. So they are predators, they are sheep, and they know their prey. They know exactly what to do, they know exactly what to say. They are like wolves sniffing for blood. It doesn't matter what race of woman you are. Unfortunately, black women are more susceptible because of the brainwashing, but they take part in preying of women of all cultures, and all races. If they can do it and manipulate, they'll do it. So unfortunately, this is how it is. And I'm kind of in the boat now, where I think some people just have to learn. Unfortunately, I don't find any pleasure in that because I think it's very sad. But I do think that some women will just have to learn.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's very true. Some women do have to learn. Yeah, but like I said, I go into, like I said, like I said, a lot of the brainwashing of black women, it comes from the family, it comes from the home. So, because the way the black daughter is raised by her mother, because I told you the black mother does not have a human, she doesn't have a human reaction to the black daughter because she sees her as labor. So, majority of her childhood is going to be spent because the mother is black male identified. So, majority of her childhood will be spent being degraded and being basically treated like a house slave. And this is completely normal, and they don't this is completely normal. And they don't see anything wrong with the structure of the family. It's not really a family, it's more of a cult. It's not a family. There's no such thing as a black family. I don't think there ever was. It's a cult. And it's like the black daughter or the black females of the family are the sacrifice. That's how I see it. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I've said before there was never a black family or a black community. It was just a group of black people together. But there are plenty of people who don't believe that, so that's just my belief.
I can say that I can't necessarily relate to that just because I haven't had that experience with my mother, but I do and can clearly see how that is prominent with a lot of black families, having this kind of cantankerous relationship between mother and daughter because of whatever. I mean, there's a list of reasons, right? Whether we're talking about colorism, texturism, internal self hatred, internal misogyny, misogynoir. I mean, the list goes on. The adultification of black girls. It goes on and on and on. So, no, I have not experienced that firsthand. I don't necessarily have a mother wound, but I have had plenty of friends and associates where I didn't even realize until I was probably hit about middle school, when you really kind of start to interact with other kids and see them in their environments, where I realized that that wasn't normal, right? Being 12 and 11 years old and having my black girlfriends tell me they clean their whole house from top to bottom and wash 100 dishes a day like they're Cinderella. And I remember thinking like, oh, you're Cinderella. You're
Yeah,
Cinderella. Like, and I
yeah.
remember
It's
just
it's
like
it's
even
but
when
I'm so sorry.
no, go ahead.
Sorry.
Okay. I don't know if you were
Yeah,
working or not.
it's more like I'm so sorry. It's that's the thing. It's not a daughter and mother relationship. She's not your mother, number one. She's your competitor. So
It
in
always
your
seemed like boss and employee to
that's what she
me.
really is. She's not your mother. She's your competitor.
Yeah, the experiences that I have seen always seemed like almost a boss slash employee relationship between a lot of black women and daughters. Like I said, I've had friends who, grown up over the years that would come visit me, hang out at my house, and maybe we have a play date, maybe we do something, and we leave our dish from eating or whatever, and they would be like, "Oh my God, your mom's gonna get that," and I'd be like, "Yeah, my mom's." girl, we had 1 cup of juice. Like, it's not that serious. And I remember having friends that just dealt with a lot of almost PTSD from their homes and the environments. And it's crazy because Black women do not even get a chance, especially black children don't really get a chance to have anything put on mental health, right? They don't get to claim the anxiety card, the depression. I mean, I've rarely ever hear until very recently, and I mean very recently, where administrative staff or even the larger white society says, hey, maybe this girl is dealing with something's wrong. Maybe she has ADHD, maybe something is off. But I notice when Black boys do something crazy or absolutely heinous, they have mental illness, right? There's something not right. Somebody's treating them wrong, right? But nobody asks that of Black girl children, which is a very interesting and sad phenomenon. I will say probably in the past maybe 2 or 3 years since COVID, there has been a bigger spotlight on mental health with children, but I find that everybody else gets to be crazy, right? Little white kids get to be crazy, and Black boys get to be crazy, but little Black girls can't have a bad day. So it's very interesting to see how Black girls are treated as adults at a very young age. Nobody cares, nobody is concerned. There is no patience or grace for their challenging behavior if they have any.
I wanted to see if you guys hear me because I'm having internet connection and Lady T just dropped off.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it?
I
Are
can
you
hear
losing
you.
your? Okay. Are you losing your signal or?
Says it's good, but I don't know. I think it's just StreamYard. That's it. I don't see it a big deal. But Lady T just dropped off, so a lot of people are dropping off. So that's not a big deal. But yeah, but well, Brent, that's the dynamics of the community.
Wow. I mean, wow. Um. Yeah. I just can't believe. I'm at awe. How could somebody do that and say that and make a video like it's okay? I mean, 7 kids with 7 women. And, he also said those are the ones that didn't take the abortion or the after morning pill. I don't know if if you guys caught that. These are the 7 that had the children that he feels he shouldn't be responsible. So there were more children. He might have impregnated more than 7 women.
I
This
mean,
is just
you don't know how many children Black men have. So just because they might take care of one of their children or two of their children,
but could have 7, 8, 12, 34. There was a serial. I saw a show. There was these guys. They were serial impregnators. They were impregnating all these women, and some of them had 30, 40 kids. Just like, wow, how? I mean, the irresponsibility of it, and who pays for this? I mean. No wonder we're in such debt. No wonder our national debt's so high.
Can
Not
I
only
ask
do
y'all? Can I ask y'all
huh?
a quick question? Can I ask you a quick question, Brent? How do you feel in pro too? How do y'all feel about chemical castration for uh these men who have all these kids, brag about it, and like you were about to say, paying, us paying because we pay for it for sure.
We do, yeah. Um, I that's really tough. I struggle with that because I don't think we're supposed to be fruitful and multiply, and making that's something that can lead to something really bad, to where we're just, if you get the wrong people doing this, this guy just having kids and not caring, that would be good for him. But let's say somebody that wasn't like that, they felt fit in that into that area.
Well, what I'm trying to ask is, how can they fit in that area? I'm talking about excessively.
Well,
Like, what if the rule was, you have kids, multiple children, right? We're not talking about one or two. This man has 7 children. First of all, most people don't even have that many kids in this day and age. But we're talking about an extensive amount of children. So 7, 8, 9, 10, right? And you cannot pay your debts to society. You cannot feed them. You cannot clothe them. You cannot pay their health care. And if you cannot pay it, then you need to stop having kids.
yeah.
I don't understand how everybody would fit in, how a lot of people, like, that's a real hard category to accidentally be put in.
Well,
I'm trying to see how you would fall
I'm
in
just
there.
saying, people can corrupt things, though. I mean,
Yeah, but don't you? But I'm saying, like, if we're comparing and contrasting, right? You're saying, because I get that you're from the whole
I
Christian
mean,
point of view.
if we go to that standard and we're able to follow it,
But these
because
kids, right? They go into the foster care system, or we pick up the slack, because that's how that works, right? We pick up the slack. Is it better to be fruitful and multiply, or have a whole bunch of kids that are abused, malnourished, undereducated, and are parasites on society that eventually become criminals? Because that's usually what happens with kids who don't have parents.
No, I agree. I mean, it needs to be stopped, because you're putting kids in poverty. You're just creating problems with society altogether, beyond the money issue. Taking care of these kids, and I see what you're saying, and it needs to stop, because we're supposed to be fruitful and multiply, but we're also supposed to do this through marriage. Being fruitful and multiply ain't going around and impregnating women all over the place that just do it. No, you're supposed to reproduce. You're supposed to have children. You're supposed to procreate. And I think it should be, maybe we should make it illegal to have children out of wedlock. Some people say that's extreme, but
Hello?
hello.
Yes, hello, Jeannie. How are you?
I'm fine. So I came up because I know that you guys were talking about that there was a troll in the chat. Unfortunately, that person wasn't really trolling. So yesterday, a certain person that's kind of in this space was exposed for following, I don't know how to say it, but Femboys Black, Femboys. They go by Peak, or I forgot like exactly what it is, but they have a channel. I know the initials are VL. There's a lot of evidence. Like at first I really did not want to believe it, but when you look at the evidence, it's so damning. Like,
all right,
it's
so you know what you could do? Could you email me? Is that possible?
I will 100% email you, because I'm so concerned by
because I don't want to say it here, because I don't want them flagging me.
Yeah,
so I'll put up
say the name.
My email me right now.
All right, I'll email you right now.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Email me right now.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Y'all are messy as hell on YouTube. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, let's see what happens. I'm not gonna say anything. But if there's evidence and stuff like that, then I'm gonna If there's evidence, then So that's what she's saying. Well, let's see what happens. Let me put my email up real quick. We'll see. All right, guys, move forward. You guys hear me?
We hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. All right. So I'm sorry about that, but yeah, seems like there's something going on here. We'll see. All right. Go ahead, banter with Bo. I'm sorry about that.
Oh no, I was just challenging Brett a little bit on the whole be fruitful and multiply, and even the marriage before. See, I think the marriage
Yeah,
before
well,
the children before marriage is kind of sticky because you can't impose your religious belief on people.
well,
So
you can't. You cannot.
I'm
You
talking. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brett.
no, you can't do that. But then again, can you impose population control on people? I
Absolutely,
mean,
absolutely. If it
well,
is,
you're
if it
taking
is,
away a right, though, isn't
if
it?
if it
Religious.
is, hold on. So what you don't have is the freedom to use my money, right? So I'm talking about laws and legislation. You're talking about religion doctrine. So
Yeah,
I don't want to pay for your bastard children.
yeah, and
Okay.
I got it.
And if
I
you
don't.
can't, if you
Yeah,
can, I'm not talking about you, clearly not, but I'm talking about these dusties, these trash
yeah,
bags who are having
yes,
all these kids. I don't want to lie. I do not owe you Medicaid. I do not owe you Section 8. I do not
yep,
owe you welfare. I do not. And if we don't do that, there's going to be a whole bunch of crying dead babies in the street, right?
yeah,
So there can be a law that says, hey, this is a crime now. If you continue to procreate past a financial means, not, oh, we're just going to come and castrate you just because you have kids. No. But if you continue, like for instance, if I mess up my credit so bad, right?
mhm,
I can claim bankruptcy, but I can no longer use credit for some time. So what it is our country and our legislation saying that there are laws where you just can't do whatever the f you want to do financially. That's not how that works. We have to be honest and understand that children and people push the what economy. This is a capitalistic economy. So if you are not picking up that slack and you're constantly leeching off of your state funds because
mhm.
you cannot feed, clothe, and educate your children adequately, this is the law. This is the repercussion for that. Is if you continue to do it, if you continue to obstruct the law of having however many kids and not being able to take care of them, we're going to chemically castrate you so you can stop doing that. And I
Yeah,
think that's very reasonable versus you can't force people to get married from a Bible verse. Like that's religion. But what you can say is, hey, we're not going to support you. You're breaking the law past this point because now you're stealing from people. Now you're taking from my taxes, my hard-earned money, the money that I put into the roads, the lights, the kids that take the bus. I live in one of the richest counties in the country, right? I don't have
mhm,
kids. These kids that get off the yellow bus and eat good lunch and the teachers that I pay for that. And I don't mind paying for that as long as you are being responsible with having children, but you're not
yeah,
putting in the pot. You got to put in the pot. That's what makes society run. So that's literally free market capitalism. And I think that there should be um a harsh law to say if you continue to unresponsibly, which means just like you have to go to the court. We have laws now. Don't you got to go to the court when you pay child support and prove
yeah,
and go over everything that you provide for the child? It's the same thing. If you have a child and you on child 5, 6, 7, and I'm a judge and I'm looking at your paperwork saying, okay, you've been on welfare ever since child 2, 3, 4. Why you got 8 kids? Why you got 10 kids? Why do you have 7 kids and you on welfare? Okay, you sentenced to castration. You don't need to have no more kids. I'm just
yeah.
giving my own opinion. I just like the banter. It's not, it's just for fun. But
I
I'm just
mean,
throwing it
you're
out
talking
there.
Can I say this about that
Go
though?
ahead.
You know, if we did it biblically, who's responsible for your children? It's you. And if you can't take care of them, that's your fault. It's not the government's responsibility. It's not your neighbor's responsibility. My kids is not your responsibility. If I go have kids, and I have kids, I pay for my kids. They're mine. They're my responsibility. And back in the day, if you didn't work, you didn't eat. And if you had kids, they didn't eat either. And I know that's harsh. I know that's, we don't want to see kids starve. We know. But that's the only way to correct it. Well, I guess if you force to castrate them, but then again, I think it could lead to something corrupt to where you take a guy making, $40,000 a year and the court determines, well, you don't have enough money to take care of that kid, so we're going and you already had one, we're going to castrate you. I mean, I think that could happen.
But this is my thing. In 2023, why are you having kids on $40K a year? That's abusive. I'm sorry. I think having children in poverty is abusive. That's abuse.
Well, I mean, I see people with that income making it though. And if you're feeding them and you're working, you might not have the luxuries of having the best car. You might live in a trailer. You might.
But why are you having children if you are poor? Why? Well, because they're pretty and they're shiny and you want to have an ego and feel good about yourself. Like and I always hear this thing about children are a blessing. But my question is, are you a blessing to children?
Yeah.
That's true.
No, I get your point. I just, if you can make it and pay the bills, you can have kids. Why not? I mean.
Okay, so you say why not? I want to know, why should you?
Well,
why should you have
children?
kids and just make
take care of children? You should be able to have them.
Yeah, but I think where we're disagreeing at is what you consider versus what I consider taking care of kids. And I don't think the bare minimum in 2023 is fair to do to a child. Why would you I don't know if times are changing or what, but when I was growing up the way my parents raised me, you always want the next generation to do better. Why would you bring in another generation just making it? Especially I can understand and I give folks a pass, before boomer age, right? Because we know that laws were very different. We know that reproduction control was different. BC wasn't the same. I get it. But in the 21st century, there is no good reason why you should be birthing children into poverty or just making it. Why would you do that to another human being? I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm not saying you have to be rich. I don't mean the alternative is you got to be rich and have a big mansion. No, but I mean, you should be. I'll put it to you like this: if you lose your job and you can't take care of your kids or take care of your household for a significant amount of time, you shouldn't be having kids. That's my opinion.
Yeah, but if you already have them, then what? See, because you can get in an accident and lose your leg.
If you already have them, then you're just another idiot that birthed another human being into an effed up world, right? But if you don't already have them, there's preventative care. There's so much preventative care that you shouldn't even get there. That don't make sense.
I'm just saying, if you have them, but something happens to you where you can't take care of them like you could, I mean, because things can happen.
But this is not the Stone Age, right? So if this is 2023. So if you mean to tell me as an adult, you have children, you don't think about what could happen if you're gone or if you fall or hurt yourself on the job, or I mean, my mother got into a serious car accident and was still able to take care of us.
What you're doing is saying you can't plan for what could happen. You could be a millionaire and lose it all.
Right, but see, this
and if you have kids, then what? You're kind of splitting hairs here.
You can't plan, but if we're talking about properability, if we want to be intellectually,
I know you're going to plan the best, but
I understand what you're saying. But if we want to be intellectually honest, you want to give your kids a good head start to even start. What my thing is, why start at 0 when you could start at 10? That don't make no sense. So I could say to you, well, what's the point of getting married? People get divorced every day. Right, but we know that the probability is
that's like saying, okay, I want the best for my kids.
People who get children who come from 2-parent households usually fare out better. That's what the statistics say, right?
Yeah,
so I'm saying the same thing when it comes to Right. And I agree with you. That's a fact, right? We know that scientifically, statistically, children that come from two-parent homes do better. It goes the same way with finances. We know that kids that have the opportunity to be able to participate in curricular activities, eat
Okay.
healthy foods, be in a good environment, which all takes finances, we know that they do better than little Tyrone in the hood. We know that.
I think we're arguing about something we're not understanding each other, because
I don't even think it's an argument.
have kids when you're poor. What I'm saying is, if you could take care of them, I mean, who's to say you can't have them? I mean,
society is to say because society has to deal with it.
Hey, when me and my wife had kids, we didn't have a lot of money, but we made it work. We took care of our children.
But yeah, see, the thing is, I'm not talking about anecdotal experiences. That worked out for you.
What I'm saying that
worked out for you and your wife. That worked out for you and your wife, and it went great, right? But that's not the reality. This is why little Tyrone is shooting up people in the hood, right? Because mama is out there working 2 jobs because he was born in the projects. Like, that's not the reality, Brent.
It's a different situation.
Well, hold on for a second. Is different from us. Yeah, I think you guys are talking about two different things.
We are.
Yeah, you're talking about two different things. That's what it is. But the way we're taught to have children as Black women is kind of different from other groups. Even if other groups don't have a lot, and I think that's what Brent is talking about. You know, they'll probably be married and they probably won't start out a lot, but they still have a 2-family home and they have an income. So that's a difference between and they're married. But yeah, you understand what I'm saying? But when you're in a community that has no support, yeah, but you got to understand, Brent comes from a completely different, so he's not understanding it the way you're saying it. You're talking about two different things. But what you're talking about is the reason why the community is what it is. And that's why these women's sons are going around shooting up everything. But those are two different types of situations. You understand what I'm saying? That's not the same. So
yeah, but he keeps missing the point of that. I'm talking about men with multiple children. I'm not talking about men with 1 or 2 kids. I'm talking about men
with multiple children.
I'm talking about men with excessive children, Brent, with a whole bunch of baby mamas.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that. No, they shouldn't have kids if they have kids all over. No, that's dumb. That's
I'm not talking about the sweet couple from the South that just had their little baby boy or baby girl and they're just making ends meet. I'm not talking about that. Okay. I'm talking about these hood boogers with 20 kids all across the United States running from child support, because that's the reality of the Black community. What you're talking about is you're giving small time country road song and dance, right? We know that there are people that just start out, and guess what? That's okay to just start out and work it out with your wife, and you got a community. You could call your mom and dad. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the Black reality. And the Black reality is these niggas is out here having kids all around the place. They don't talk to their mama. They don't talk to their auntie, their cousins, their brother. They have no relationships. They have no equity. They have no community. So when I'm talking about finances, I'm not just talking about liquidating assets. I am talking about wealth. I'm talking about the wealth of family, the wealth of community, the wealth of government, and I'm talking about money. So I think when we're having these conversations about Blackistan, you have to look at it from a macro point of view and not necessarily a micro point of view.
No, okay.
So I don't think you're wrong, Brent. That's what I'm trying to say is you ain't wrong.
Yeah.
But you just got the wrong demographic.
Yeah, you're right. Because
number one, it's not a community, it's a zoo. The family is a cult, and the whole entire it's a zoo. It's not a community. It's a zoo. That's what it is.
Oh, what?
It's a zoo. It's not a community. So yeah, I mean, I tell Black women all the time, your best bet now with Roe versus Wade, your best bet is to sleep with other races of men. I prefer you to do it with white men. I'm not telling you to go out there and just sleep with any man, but Adults are going to have sex. So I'm going to be realistic. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you guys are going to wait until married. I'm not going to do that because I know that's not going to happen. It's better at this point to just be involved, even if it's intimately. Let's keep it real here with white men, because they are less likely than any other group to leave you a single mother. And that's what I keep saying. That's it. So okay. that's what it is. So, you know, I don't want to forget about Kevin. Damn, Kevin's dead. What's going on? I'm sorry to leave you out.
Oh no, it's okay. I was just listening to the debate. That's all. But I would say that both Brent and Bo are making very valid points. Maybe they're just going into it. They're making the same points. Great point, Washi. It's just a different context and roads, I would say. But
we're looking at a different lens and a different community, I think, in a different situation. Yeah. Look, I didn't have much money, but I was military, so my family was taken care of.
But you know, Brett had morals, right? Brett is a good guy. Okay. Listen, Brett is coming from a good guy perspective. So when you have a good guy perspective, you think everybody else is going to work with the same morals. They don't have morals. So they don't have the moral of, hey, I impregnated someone, whether I have a little bit of money or not, I'm gonna do right by them, right? They don't have that type of moral. I've talked to men who didn't have a lot, and they'll say, hey, I'll join the military, or I'll do this, I'll do that. The reason why I'm being so militant about this specific demographic to have money is because they don't have morals. So you cannot count on them doing the right thing, Brett. That's what I'm trying to say. You have to be very straightforward to say, look, if you're not making this amount, or you're not, you can't afford this, then just don't do it. Because whether they can afford, I mean, honestly, there's some that can't afford it. There are basketball players, NFL players, celebrities, and they still don't take care of their kids. So it's like the problem is you're dealing with they're maladaptive.
I mean, but you see, that's the thing. Everything that we're saying now already has been said before. They've tried to do something about it, and it was racism, right? So at this point, you know, where we're at now, that we're realizing that what white men were saying about these men are right. I don't know where to go from this point. But if you look throughout history, and these men were saying this about Black men, it was racism, right? When they were practicing eugenics, it was racism, right? Am I saying that people don't use eugenics for the wrong thing? I'm not going to say that. But things have been done to prevent what we're dealing with right now. But we viewed it as racism, and I'm not saying it wasn't there. But if you're looking at where we are right now, it's not like things haven't been done. If you're looking throughout history, but because I'm going to actually do a video, but that's going to have to be a private video, and it's going to be on genetic counseling and male performance. And what do I mean by male performance? I'm talking about on how a man character is, what they do, what they're capable of, how they carry themselves, things like that. You understand what I'm saying? Who would be a better man to have children with, a Black man or a white man? Answer that question to me.
Well, this is kind of biased, but also I would say also statistics and studies would make a fair point. White for me. Sorry, I guess it's biased because I'm with.
Why are you sorry about that? The whole goal here is to have children with white men. That should be the whole goal here.
Yeah.
Not to just have children with them, but yes, marry them. But I'm just saying the whole goal Your whole goal is to have children with white men. There's no reason why you shouldn't. That's the whole goal here moving forward, because you already know what it is over there. Okay, I went over the male hierarchy, the in-betweens, right? So moving forward, Black women should only be having children with white men. There's no reason for you to have, that's who you should be having children with.
And you know what? I'll say white men should be having children with Black women. We should, hey, this needs to be a 2-part deal. And we can make this happen. I did my part.
You hear that? So there we go from there. So that's I call it the 50-year plan.
You know what? Some people say, well, that's crazy to say that. No, it's not. Statistically, we're better off with each other. It's like we're meant to be with each other. Why wouldn't we go with the best option? Statistically, I mean, when we do our finances, don't we go with the best option, the best investments that's going to give us the best returns? It's a gamble regardless, and relationships are a gamble. But who's going to give you the best return? And that's what you got to ask yourself. Who will give you the best return? Nobody can tell me I didn't get the best return. And some people will concede to me and say, okay, well, you're just an exception to the rule. No, I'm not. Study it. You'll find out that there are quite a few men like me. It's not unusual for white men and Black women to have a great marriage and be successful. It's not. In fact, it happens more with Black women, white men than even in their own communities. So what you're saying, I say it from the other side. White men marry Black women. Why not? It's the best option.
And it's only 2 million of us that, I mean, there's enough Black women for white men to marry. We're in a country that's what you said, 65% white, Brent?
Yes.
How many men are out of that?
Well,
percentage?
Well, women, I don't know the exact, but if you split it in half, there's going to be more women, right?
Okay. But so the ratio to Black women to white men.
Let's say 30%, Black women's about 7%.
Oh, that's enough white men for you to choose from. The ball is in our court here. So,
it is.
I mean, yeah. So we're 7% and white men are 30%. So that's millions of white men.
Yeah, that's white men, non-Hispanic.
Non-Hispanic. And make sure you say that. White men, non-Hispanic. Okay?
Yeah, because there's two.
Just keep that in mind. Yeah, because there are 2 different types of men here. So make sure it's a white male.
Yeah, if you're going for non-Black men, that's about 75%, really.
Yes.
So yeah, it's vast. White men vastly outnumber Black women. If a Black woman wants a white man, she can get him. She ain't going to get it sitting on her couch and not going anywhere.
Exactly.
But if she wants him, she can have them. In fact, it's easier for Black women to have white men than white men to be with Black women. It's the truth. It is what it is.
Like I said, there's a particular, like I said, I don't want to talk about the E word, so I'm going to stay away from that. But just make sure he's an actual white male and he's coming from more of an Irish or German type of heritage. That's the best from my research. They're just better males. I can't tell you why, but that's what it is. And I know what it sounds like, but I'm just telling you what it is.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to nail that down because us white people, we're so mixed with European.
Yeah,
I did my DNA and I have a percentage of almost every country in Western Europe. I mean, so
that's fine as long as you're purely a white male. Then that's fine, and that's what you need to choose.
I'm purely white.
That's who you need to procreate with. Right there. What do you think about that banter with Bo?
Can you repeat the question one more time for me?
Said we need to procreate with white males. White males, that's where their DNA is pure white males, not
You know, I always say that my you know what, my
not a white Hispanic, not an off-white, not none of that. No, I'm talking about an actual.
You want a wasp, a white Anglo-Saxon.
Listen, I want the best of the best. What are you talking about?
Well, you already know what I think. For the most part, I agree with everything y'all said. I'm just going to add quality to that because I don't believe in procreating with, the lower tier of white men.
Of course, that's not what I'm saying. Remember,
I know that's not what you're saying, but I just always have to throw out that addendum out there because there has been a lot of dirty cotton lately. But what I will say is I'm going to continue with my tagline, which is to exclude black males, black males, and to vet white ones. So
like I said, so within the spectrum of the white males, they have a high, they have a high neutral, and they also have a high low. You don't procreate with anything that's high. You don't procreate with anything low, even if it's in the high. All the lows have to be removed.
Well, when it comes to white people,
so you procreate with the high performers of the group. The high performers, you procreate with the high highs and the the neutral highs, if that makes sense.
For me personally, I can't speak for other black women, but for me personally, and what I like, I am colorist and featurist and even whatever ism you want to give me. I'm all those things when it comes to white men. So I do have my own hierarchy, and if it's not WASP, I don't want it. Some people like the Eastern Europeans, some people like the Mediterraneans, but no, it's got to be straight Nordic or straight Anglo-Saxon, because the white Americans tend to be a little bit mixed. They don't want to admit it, but a lot of them are. They got something down their bloodline. And then you also have the Eastern Europeans. It's too close to like Asian stuff for me. So for me particularly,
you don't want that.
Yeah, I mean, my husband is exactly what I want. But for me, even if I wasn't married and I was dating, it would have to be like, if it's not from Iceland, Norway, Greenland.
Well, he has to have red hair. He has to have red hair. He has to have very pale skin.
Let me finish because I don't do red hair either. If it's red hair, it has to be from Scotland or Ireland. I'm not doing Eastern European red hair. It's totally different bloodline. So I want white, blue blood, Anglo-Saxon for me. So I'm definitely a colorist and texturist. I don't do olive skinned, any of that. It has to be only pure white as snow. If Hitler didn't want it, I don't want it. That's just me personally. If you're French, if you're Jewish, if you're Italian, you're not for me. If you're Polish, Russian, Scottish, no shade, but you're on the lower end of
they're on the lower end of the spectrum, unfortunately. That's not for me. So no offense to anybody out there.
Yeah, but if you could be mistaken for Hispanic or Arab, no, thank you.
Oh yeah, no, we don't want that.
Well, wait a minute. How about the Snow Bunny Crisis guy? I mean, I think he's got some European.
No, I need me a good old nasty inbred blue blood mother effer. I don't want no American Mayflower nigga. I want me a blue one. That's just y'all know I'm teasing. Y'all can't take everything so serious. Jesus.
It's funny because you're funny. It's great.
Y'all know I just be up here talking my mess. But no, seriously. It's gotta be lily white. It can't be off-white, tan, butterscotch. No, we want white. We want white. I want to be so white when I kiss you that my teeth are white.
Hey, you know what you're going to do? You know what you're doing, right? You know what's happened. You got these white guys listening to this, and they're going to start getting some skin lightening cream,
Not the
bleach. They're
bleach.
going to get some blue contacts. And then
Not
they're
the
going to
bleach.
tell everybody, "Yeah, I'm Nordic." Look.
Listen,
Bleach up your skin.
it's all about quality, and there
Ladies.
are certain. Listen, I've done the research. Okay, I can't talk about that up here, but I've done the research. If you study eugenics, that is the premium. That is the cream of the crop, and all that those off whites and all them stuff like that. It's they have more degenerate behavior. Males, they tend to have more degenerate behavior. It's a fact. It's true. Not like they used
Listen.
to, but yeah, but a lot of those were the primary groups that had a lot of degenerate behavior during the 20s, early 1900s, and they noticed it came from those particular groups. So what the women did is that they stopped mating with them, and they started breeding with they started breeding with what we're talking about right now. But I don't really want to talk about that because I don't want, it's the WS word. So,
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, the WS word. But yes, but what I'm saying is that we need premium men, especially if you get pregnant by a boy, you need the best man for that. And who is the best man? Who has proven to be the best man? Could anybody answer that question?
Quality white men.
Brad.
Exactly.
Quality.
Brad, Michael, Chad, Liam.
We've seen the same behavior. The behavior has changed over time. They're evolving. They're becoming more progressive over time. So they're not as degenerate as they were because they're evolving. They're becoming more progressive. And those are the things that we need to look at. So they have made the most progression out of any males in the world. White males have made the most progression. That's a fact.
And I don't do POC either. I want to put that out there. Oh, go ahead, Brent.
Hey, Banter, what are those qualities you were saying? I'm gonna write these down and write a book.
Oh, quality. You mean physical, or when I was just talking about like?
No, I was just joking.
Oh, okay. No, I was joking.
Like,
I was some I was joking, some I wasn't. But
yeah, I get it. No, that's your preference. That's yay.
Yeah, no, me particularly. I mean, I know there's a lot of Black women that are kind of into like the Asian men, and I don't do POCs. I don't do people of color, just because I'm not interested. Number one, that's me personally, and number two, I find that Black women a lot of times they like to glamorize these POC cultures, and then they get involved and they experience a lot of misogyny and a lot of abuse. And I've been trying to put them on, especially with the Asian community. I'm like, that's a very abusive.
As you move down the spectrum, and this has been recorded, other groups of men are more abusive towards women, and they're more violent. That's a fact. This is not a lie.
I got a theory, and tell me if I'm wrong, because I could be. I don't know. I think Black women that date out want to be with a white man for the most part. I think a lot of Black women, they might say Hispanic or Asian. I think a lot of times there's some guilt there because of the conditioning. Like, yeah, I'm opening up my options, but he's a man of color too.
Yeah,
am I wrong? I can't say for sure.
Because they want someone they can. Yeah, they want the man of color, because men of color always will experience discrimination no matter what. So I think that's what it is, or whatever the situation is. But like I said,
they want swag.
Yeah, but there's things that come with that. Those men are more degenerate. There's more degeneracy in there. And I mean, you can go to those countries. Most of these third world countries, who's running those countries? The Philippines, the Spanish speaking countries. You don't see that a lot in the Europe because of the men, because the men are they're because the men
Listen,
are better.
nobody wants a sweatshop daddy. You could keep the sweatshop zaddies. I'm good. No,
The
thank you.
Sweatshop Zaddies.
No,
I'm
thank you.
opening up a new business. It's called Sweatshop Zaddies.
Well, banter with
Sweatshop
when I have this private live, I can't have it on YouTube, but I'm going to have a live on genetic counseling and male performance. And it's not the type of male performance you think. So I go over I go over how a country is, the economy of the country, how much violence is in the country, level of abuse in that country, and that's for each group. Does that make sense or not?
Oh yeah, it makes perfect sense for sure.
Yeah. So those are the things that I look at. So single mother rates, poverty, things like that. Those are the things that I look at. I mean, I tell you, Black and Hispanic men should be off the list. There's no way that do you know what's going on in these Hispanic
But hold
countries?
on,
You can tell a lot about a group of men based on what's going on in their country.
Can I just educate people for a quick second on this Black and Hispanic thing? Because I hear this all the time and it grinds my gears. Because folks don't know the difference between race, ethnicity, and nationality. Black and Hispanic are not of even the same category. So Black is a race and Hispanic is an ethnicity.
Yeah.
So
it's
technically anybody of any race can be Hispanic. If you are from a Spanish speaking country or a Latin. Well, if you're from a Latin speaking country, then you're a Latino, right? So Italians are Latin, Haitians are Latin. That's all Latinos, right? So you can be white and be from a Spanish speaking, you can be Black and be from a Spanish speaking country.
Right.
So I always find it weird when these dusties are like, I like a Latina. I'm like, there's Black women who are Latinas.
Well, that's not, but that's not, I'm so sorry to cut you off. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
They're not a race. Remember, they're not a race of people. You could be anything and be Hispanic, but that's what I'm saying, because of slavery and the mixing of these degenerate men's, these Indian men and African men and all that other stuff there, and you can already look what's going on down there. I mean, you don't want those men. I mean, and those Hispanic women have they used to sterilize those women a lot because of the men. They had a long history of that. So you do not want to procreate with them at all, because there's more degeneracy. And if you look at the stats in this country with Hispanic men, they're right behind Black men. They have a 50% divorce rate with their women. They have another very high domestic violence rate. Alcoholism runs very rampant in that community. So and then they have their own colorism shit going on and all that other stuff. So that's why a lot of them are allowed into the black male culture, because they have the same sentiments, and they also have a culture that's rooted in white supremacy. So I mean,
yes, they do.
Just please keep, like I said, we don't need to procreate with the trash. Okay, those two groups, I know it's not a group, but for the sake of this conversation, I'm going to call it that, because you know how people are. But those are red zone. Like I said, I'm going to create a chart.
Most of them are for Hispanics. Most of them are mixed race, anyways, right? So the average Hispanic, and I find this very interesting in America, especially when you see the South American Hispanics, right? So your El Salvadorian, your Guatemalans, your Ecuadorians, your Mexico, your south of the border folks, right? Y'all mean to tell me you look at these people's faces and don't see the Mayan, the Aztec in them? These are Indian people.
Yeah, they're Indian. They're Indian and Africans, right?
They're not a lot of African. That's not true. They're mainly, when we're talking about South Americans are mainly Indio, and they're Mezito, and they speak Spanish. That's not their native language. Just like we speak English, like. That's so weird to me. And then when you have the Caribbean Hispanics, so your Puerto Ricans, your Dominicans, your Cubans, that's where you get more of the African and native mix. But majority of Hispanic people are either a mixture between African, native, and European, or European and Indian. And I just find it really weird when I hear stuff like white Latino and all this stuff. I'm like, there's technically none of them are. It's really a race of mixed people that speak Spanish. That's really what it is.
Yeah, it's almost like it's almost like the 5 countries because South America and Africa is very similar. So it's almost like the 5 countries with the white men and the black women. So those countries, they're actually a biracial race. So because they have both, they have 50% black and 50% white because it was just so many white and black women having children.
Oh, you talking about South Africa? Wait, what country are you talking about?
I went over that in my live. There's 5 countries in Africa.
Oh, in Africa, for sure.
Yeah, that's built up of black women and white men having children.
I want to know in this country, and it's just for everybody on the panel, why is it so freaking hard? Because I've lived in other countries before, and only in America is it hard to have the concept of mixed race here, having a own category, own lane. Is really weird. People keep calling mixed race people white or black. Well, they don't call them white. Let's be honest. They call them black. And I'm very confused by that, because when I was in the UK, it was very clear that black and mixed race people were 2 different categories. Even in certain parts of Africa, it's clear as day. They'll call them colored. They'll call them mixed race. They'll call them mezito. They'll call them moreno. Every group has a lane for people who have mixed race heritage or mixed ethnicity or whatever the heck label you want to use, but they're not one monoracial group. And only in America do we do this weird thing where there's like, well, they're black. I'm like, but they're not black. They have a whole parent at home. I just think that's very disrespectful. And I mean, my husband is a white man, and when we have kids, he has just as much influence as I do. And I think it's really effed up to make somebody, because this is something that black people do all the time. I don't really see the white people doing it, but black people do this. They will get mad at biracial people for claiming biracial, but then they'll claim biracial people as black. It's very confusing. And I get why a lot of these mulattoes are tragic, specifically the ones with the white moms. They're very tragic. And the reason why they're tragic, and this is how I separate them. White men who have kids with black mothers are just mixed race kids. That's to me.
Right.
But the ones that have the white moms are very tragic. Like when you talk to them, their whole mindset is effed up. It's really screwed up. They're like, no, I'm black. No, because when the cops pull, the craziest thing I hear all the time from black people is, well, when the cops pull me over, they're going to say that I'm black. So I'm like, you mean to tell me you predicate your entire identity off of what the cops say you are? That's crazy. Like, that don't make no sense to me, especially as somebody who I have a friend who's a whole phenotypically looking, by American standards, a person of color. This girl has a heavy Scottish accent. Her dad is from Scotland. She carries her African culture just as much as she carries her Scottish culture. To the food that she makes, to the music that she likes, that is her culture. That is her race. That is in her bloodline. Who are you to deny somebody their bloodline and heritage because they skin color is 2 shades darker? Like, that don't make no sense. I'm just trying to figure it, and it's only in America. I don't even see people in Europe. I lived in France for 2 years. I don't even see white people in Europe do that.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It's a strange
Well, can thing. I tell you, Bo? Of course, originally it stemmed from the one drop rule in America, with slavery, etc. I can't deny that.
I know where it came from. I'm asking, why do people keep it going? I know where it came from.
I know that.
So we just end it now.
Why keep it going? Okay, so I would say it's mostly black people keeping it going. White people at this point, they just don't care at this point. It's like, okay, whatever. Since y'all won't do whatever, that's fine for us. We'll just keep the quote unquote white lineage pure. So we'll go along with whatever y'all say. But I think it's because black people, what they ever wanted is what mixed people have. Because black people kind of like the features of mixed people, maybe they feel good to themselves thinking, oh, black is pretty, etc. But they, instead of seeing, black is pretty in the quote unquote Afrocentric features, they see black as beautiful more as in a mixed way, like, oh, black is beautiful when it's curly hair, when it's thin nose, when it's lighter skin. And that's why many mixed people are represent blackness now. Many black people are trying so hard to make mixed people be black, or they get so offended when a mixed person is saying they're mixed, not black, because it's like they can't feed off that. They feel better if they claim something, another feature that they don't like. Every time they keep saying, oh, I got curly hair, I got good hair, etc., right? They keep praising that even if they have two black parents. But imagine if this was a mixed person. They feel better. Black people, they live vicariously through mixed people. That's why they want to claim mixed people feel bad.
The sickest part of it all is I see it mainly from, and honestly, the whole racial category, or whatever y'all want to call them, I guess the categories of race in America is effed up anyways. Like it don't make no sense. Even to call black people who are black American black doesn't make sense because they're mixed. They might be generationally admixture, but they are. So it's really weird. Like it's just a weird racial, and I get why. I know that I'm from this country. My people have been here forever. So I understand the history behind it because of certain laws and stuff. But I think to piggyback off of what you said of, oh, they get off on it. The only people I see get off on it is dark-skinned black men, which is really, really, really weird to me. There's so many, because there's always the blackest black men, the blackest black men ever that have this like obsession with biracial people calling themselves black. And sometimes I'll see that with black women because they'll just follow behind the black man. But that's who I see it with the most. And it's very strange. I don't know. It's very strange to see that.
Listen, I always say the darker the black man, the dumber he is. But guys, I gotta close up soon. It's so true. You think I'm lying? The darker the black man, the dumber he is. I shit you not. Okay? There's a fact to that, okay?
Dark memory, dark days.
It's trust me. Listen.
They're like a dark cloud. I swear to God, bro. Them things is like dark rain clouds.
Trust me. The only way you can get a good black man is if you procreate with a white man. That's the only way.
Oh, they're going to be mad at you for that one.
Oh my God. I thought I was bad. No, every time I talk to a black man, my credit score drop. I can't say nothing but hello. I can't say nothing but give them my order because my credit score drop. I start hearing the police sirens. I mean, every time, it don't matter what they do or where they are, they bring destruction and chaos wherever they go. It's really, and I'm not even being exaggerating, y'all. Wherever they go, I could be somewhere with my husband golfing or doing something. I could be doing the most stereotypical white activity ever. And if a black man is in the vicinity,
you're so funny.
Okay, I swear something always happens. Either he get in an argument with somebody, he can't pay his bills, so he arguing with the maitre d' about his card. He loud, he's aggressive. I mean, I mean, it doesn't. I mean, I went to a freaking hockey game a couple of weeks back. We talking about a sea of white people. I mean, I am the only. I'm so freaking. Listen, I represented every person of color. They even had my face on the big screen because they were like, I can't believe this black girl's here at this hockey game. Like, no, I'm talking about no white, no, there ain't no Indian, nobody even close, right? And there got to be one niggly there. And you know what he did? Spill his beer. I'm serious. Spill his beer on somebody and start arguing with him. I said, damn, everywhere they go, it don't matter if the place could be 99.999% white, right? And that little speck, if that little speck is black and it has a Y chromosome, there's gonna be a problem. You bet believe there's gonna be a problem.
Well, you know
Well,
what? In
ladies,
my research, I'm so sorry to cut you off, Brent, but in my research, there's two different types of black men, okay? There's criminal and then there's civil insane. You have to research this. Listen, everything that we're talking about has already it's already the white man has said do not procreate with these men. He tried, but it is what it is. It's already out there, and it said that he his mindset and he's unpurposeful. That's what it means to be in, I think it's civil insane. Okay.
I don't know if y'all notice right now, but there was just a report that came out that said they didn't say specifically black men, but that's what they was talking about. Okay, about men between the ages of 25 to like 55 not wanting to work. What demographic they think y'all did? Do you think these people talking about? Now they didn't
Of
come
course
on the news and say
men.
black men.
That's of course it's black men.
Oh,
I mean, listen, there's no place in the is there there's no place in the world where white men or mostly other groups of men are doing absolutely nothing. It has to be black men. Okay? So, I mean, it's just, that's just what it is. So but listen, as long as these women keep making these men, it is what it is. I've given you guys the solution, but I'm a WS, right? No, I'm not a WS. I am all about procreating with the best of the best. That's where it starts here. That's where it all starts.
Yeah,
It's who you lay
it's
down
like I'm
with.
a dead wench. I'm a dead
It's just
wench,
what
so
it is.
I just and look, and another thing, I got to say this, y'all, black women, if not for your sanity, if not for your children's future, for your health, just based off of health alone, why would you lay down with a black man? They have some of the most black women right now are leading in HIV and AIDS because of being sexually race loyal to black men. Okay, have some of the high, and these diseases, the sexually transmitted diseases are so rampant. Let me tell y'all what my doctor friends have told me that they're teaching in medical school right now. The diseases are so out of this world on these HBCU campuses and these heavily black populated areas. So these urban areas, aka the ghetto, they're becoming uncurable. They can't cure them. So when you would go to the doctor and maybe you had, I don't know, whatever, chlamydia, gonorrhea, or whatever, they're
Because it's
becoming
mutating.
uncurable.
Because it's mutating. That's why it's not
Yes,
the
I know
same.
exactly why. But what I'm
It's
saying
mutating.
is, right at this point in the game, we're talking about, and it doesn't fit any type of characteristics, right? It's not, oh well, it's just Pookie in the hood that live. We talking about these niggas. These are the niggas that go to college. Okay, these are people that are getting upper education that are walking around burning. They got the monster, they got everything. Okay, all the slang words for it. And they're out here giving you these diseases that are making you infertile and uncurable. This is one of the major things that are happening in the medical world. They are talking about it everywhere. Okay, to the point where my white plastic surgeon is telling me about it. This man don't even do disease controlling primary care. He does surgery. And he was telling me, oh, it's real bad. It's really bad. And it's flowing into other communities because that's how disgusting the black community is. They don't even have safe sex. They're literally having sexual intercourse within the same day with multiple partners. Do you know how sick you could get from that? And not just that, but they're having anal sex and having sex with women. Do you know what that is doing to your insides? And they think this is a joke. These are adults. We're not talking about high school kids being irresponsible. The demographic is people from 25 to 45 years old. These are grown people. And and the reason why a lot of these people, these black men out here are saying, quiet as kept. They're saying, well, I can't have kids, or I don't have a lot of kids. You want to know why? A lot of Black men are infertile. I bet y'all didn't know that, because they have these sexually transmitted diseases for so long, and they have sex with so many people that they cannot have kids past a certain point. But they can still get you sick. This is why your babies is walking around here half retarded. They can't read right. They stumbling. They got ADHD. Everybody need an IEP. They got to be in the same. Genetics is real. Y'all don't care if this hurt people's feelings, but this is real. Black boys are like the dumbest demographic out of children to teach. I'm not even trying to be funny.
Yeah, it's true. They be dropping out.
Let me say this. It's not their fault. I'm not talking about innocent children. I'm not talking about the babies. It ain't their fault. They come up in these crappy environments. You send them to school not knowing how to read, spell their name, say they 1, 2, 3. So the first time they're getting taught is by a white teacher who's like, why the hell you don't even know how to sign your damn name? You 5 years old. You know how to do every pop, lock, and drop it in TikTok, but you don't even know how to write your name, right? Then on top of it, they have all these freaking learning disabilities. They slow, they and umming. They can't understand logic or critical thinking skills. They have a hard time understanding 1 + 2, 1 + 1 = 2.
It's the DNA. It's the DNA.
So
it's the
this
DNA.
Is why, and Black
it's
mothers get very offended. If you are a Black mother and you have a male child,
I already know. I already know, because I try to have that conversation with my mother. So, and I told my mother, I try to have a conversation with my mother, and it seems like she's not paying attention to the way my younger brother moves. My younger brother is half of what his father is, and he has a 13-year-old son. So, and it seems like she's not picking that up. So I'm gonna stay away. I don't want to be involved, because it seems like they don't see how these men move. And I you know what I'm saying? He has half of my father's DNA.
They get frustrated and they start attacking and bullying the little girls at school. These little Black boys, let me tell you something. I have 2 nephews. They're both Hispanic, okay? And my little nephew, a couple of years ago, they had this book in his classroom. If you don't do well, or you misbehave, you go in this book. I said, you ever been in that book? He said, no, TT, I never been in that book. I've been in that book one time. I never been in that book again. I said, who's in that book? He said, this Black boy in my class. He always in the book. I said, damn. Now, mind you, at this time, they were like 6 or 7 years old. He went to one of the best schools in the county. He don't go to no Lean On Me, Morgan Freeman schools, okay? He goes to a very well-renowned school. I'm just being real here, okay? He goes to a very good school, okay? They did a whole program at Johns Hopkins for little kids. Very good school. Tell me why, out of the entire class, this is what this little boy told me. He said, Tia, he even gets special help with his homework. He gets special help. They give him the answers, and he still don't know how to do it right. I said, he is a little dummy. I said, there are some people that have a low IQ, and a lot of Black women are birthing dumb children. Your children are stupid. They're very dumb. I'm just being honest. And nobody's going to tell you that. And this is why you had that woman on national TV a couple of months ago crying because her 16-year-old could not effing read. This niggly was 16 years old and couldn't say cat in the mother effing hat. At 16 years old. And she wanted to know, she said, no, this is the school's fault. How did y'all let him get to 16 years, to the whatever grade that is? I think that's the 10th or 11th grade. How did you let him get to the 11th grade without him reading, right? These little nigglets, when they hit puberty, they get big. They look like little gorillas. I'm being real. And y'all know it's effing true. Don't even try it in the comments. Y'all know when they hit puberty, they be big as shit. They big as hell, okay? Swole up, muscles coming out their neck. They be 10, 12 years old. Big as shit. Nobody is arguing with your big body child about doing their work. It's not happening. Nobody's going to risk their life or their health to tell your kid that they need to do better, and then they be done they be done King Kong some shit and knocked you the hell out, because that's what they're doing to these teachers. They knocking them down and knocking them out. So now they're just passing them along because it's too much trouble. That's really what it is. To teach Black boys who just don't listen is too much trouble. And she felt like it was the school's responsibility. But this is my question as a Black mother. How the F did you let your kid get to 16 and you mean to tell me they never had to read a street sign to you? They never had to give you directions? They never had to tell you, like, what the F are you doing? Like, that is absolutely insane. And people do not want to be honest and say that these boys have low IQs. They do have low IQs. That's just a fact. A lot.
They do.
George Bush had to come out and make a whole child left behind bill, because that's how dumb niggas are. Imagine being so stupid that the president said these tests are racist. Do you know how insane that is? I remember when, now luckily I've gone to private school my whole life, but I had cousins who went to public school and I had friends who went to public school. And I remember my friends who was in public school being pissed about having to go over certain stuff 2 and 3 and 4 times in class because little Tyrone is in the corner talking about, stop. Like, that is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. And little Black girls are suffering. And what happens is they get bored. When you in a class full of dummies and you got to wait till they catch up, you're bored. You ain't got nothing to do. You're immature. You're young. You're going to start getting into things that you shouldn't be getting into because they can't keep your attention. This is what's happening. It's been happening for decades. All these dumb ass little niggly boys walking around with Jordans and they know how to play 2K, but they don't know how to spell it. That is crazy. And a lot of them are produced by Black mothers. And I want y'all to stop producing them, because the literacy rate pipeline, see, y'all love to talk about prison to pipeline. I want to talk about that literacy rate to prison pipeline is insane. It is insane. And she said it's a disability. No, a lot of them are not disabled. A lot of these, look, they don't want to do the work. They don't want to do the homework. They don't want to do the summer reading. That's
not what
math.
it is.
Math is too hard. Math. How many times you heard an ignorant ass little nigga say, math is too hard. Math is too hard. But you give them some cash, they know how to do some math, right? They don't know algebra, but they know what that negative means in a bank account, correct? Like, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. These kids are dumb.
You're so funny. We definitely got to have a conversation like this again, but Banter with Bo, it's getting late. I'm going to close this up in about 10 to 15 minutes, guys, but I would love for you to join it's going to be a private, because we're going to be getting into, it's going to be a conversation on eugenics. So, because me personally, I don't care what anybody thinks or what they want to say, but I think that that's what Black women need to start practicing and focusing on right now is eugenics, because that's the problem here. It's genetics. It's definitely genetics, because nothing about these people make any sense. Nothing about them, just the way they're operating, and it doesn't matter. Even the ones that even the ones that have some type of college education and stuff like, they're all doing the same thing. They're still operating. The whole entire race is like, it's just not operating correctly, and I believe it's biological. I believe it's genetics. Absolutely. So,
well, thank you, Pro, for what you do and what you just said. And Bo has a lot of things that I agree with. I would have said myself, but
dogs are dumb.
But Pro, I would have loved to see that private video.
It's actually gonna be a private live. It's gonna only be for subscribers and subscribers. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Pro. Good night, Brent. Good night, Pro. Good night, Bo. Good night, everybody.
Good night, y'all. Thank you so much for having me. I'm sorry I don't need to take over. And
no problem. I'm sorry I had to end this, guys.
Oh no, this was awesome. I had to mute myself. I was laughing so hard.
It's so true. I'm sorry.
I'm going to rewind this and listen to. What happened to banter with Bo?
Oh, let me see. Did she get off without maybe she left? Let me put it up just in case. Yeah. Let me put it up just in case. Yeah. Because I gotta get because I didn't realize it was this late. 12:30. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just want to say great show again, and I just want to tell banter with Bo, she did awesome. Yeah, enjoyed listening to her, and DK it's always a pleasure listening to her, and you ladies are awesome. I mean, gosh, I'm glad you did this live. I am. This was awesome. But I'll talk to you later. You have a good night, and
absolutely, Brent. Thank you so much. I thank all of you for being here. Thank you so much for being here, guys. This was a great idea to have this live. All right, Brent. See you guys later.
All right. Good night.